Just this video is basically just about just being yourself. Be yourself. If they don't like you for being yourself, welcome. Where the Bernie Mac for real?
What I need, please be, must be destined to be. Please don't wake me up from the sleep, no pension dreams. Be home where he's happy to be, cause you know sat in the sheets and a love like makeup fast, fuck slow. Always want a bit more, no love, just.
Hello everyone, my name is Interstellar. You can call me Lexi for short. Welcome to Interstellar Podcast. If you're new, hi, how are you? And if you're returning, hello. Hope you enjoyed the show. Basically, this podcast basically is just more of like a little chit chat of me just rambling and venting about my feelings, or just things that I've been learning, and also like just whatever possible themes have been showing up recently, especially within the collective. But I'm really gonna be talking about how these themes are showing up in my life, and hopefully if they are showing up the same way as you, excuse my TV on the floor. I haven't bought a stand for it. Basically, if these themes may be showing up for you or in the same way, like maybe it can help, you know what I mean? So basically, this podcast is about a few things. One, just done trying to fine tune myself, trying to be too perfect for YouTube, trying to be too perfect as an artist in general. Perfectionism, basically, because I am a perfectionist. I just really am trying to break that right now, you know what I mean? Because it's can be kind of leave you in like a mental prison if you don't kind of break free from it, you know what I mean? And that's something that I have been like trying to push myself out of. And like, speaking of like trying to be too perfect, like me trying to record these videos, sometimes like I started to think, or I tried to kind of conform to like the YouTube personality thing, and like that's just not me, you know what I mean? That I don't know if like, I feel like I'm putting on like a fake customer service voice in a way, you know what I mean? Like I get like there's a certain way you have to like talk clearly and whatever and entertaining, but I'm not a Blue's Clues host. You know what I mean? Or, like I'm not trying to be so, like YouTube-y. You know what I mean? Like I started the podcast because I'm basically trying to get back to the original reason why I started the podcast, which is me just needing to vent my feelings and like, share like what I've been thinking, like a lot of intuitive shit, a lot of sharing realizations and stuff like that I've been having, and just kind of just chit-chatting, you know what I mean? Because I didn't really have anyone to really talk to about these specific things, until just recently. But yeah, so like that's what this is about. Like I'm like, I was talking to my editor Arabia, like my friend, but like I was talking to her and she was like, we were just talking about like how that is needed, like me getting like us getting back to, or just kind of unmasking in a way, you know what I mean? Because like I feel like, I hear that term a lot, but I haven't realized like how I was still kind of doing that in a sense, especially when it came to like presenting, like how you do in the workplace, or even on YouTube. So I don't know, it's just something that I just got tired of. I got too frustrated with trying to make a video and try to make it too perfect and sound like very structured, like very YouTube-y. You know what I mean? Like the same like, hi, how you doing? Like, hi, welcome to my channel. Like, yes, you greet people, whatever, but like that whole like beauty blogger shit, like, isn't me, And that's something like I had to remind myself, like, I'm not here for that, you know what I mean? I understand, like, yes, we do want views, yes, we do want subscribers or whatever, but I'm not willing to build that off of that type of personality, you know what I mean? Even because it's still kind of phony in a way, there's no shade to anybody who does that, but it's like, you know what I mean? It's kind of taking this YouTube thing and like kind of making it my own, which is the purpose of it all, basically, like that's something even like my therapist had to kind of like tell me about, because I mean, we all do, or are conditioned in some way, shape, or form to feel like we may have to kind of like fit into like a box or a suit or a niche in order to gain followers or whatever, or gain or recognition, or for people to accept us in a sense, you know what I mean? And it's like your niche isn't something like, yes, you can have like your aesthetics or whatever, and like, you know, you can implement them into your channels, into your content, but like your niche is like you know what I mean? Like, it's you, like your interests, like what you, how you show up, or your, like you showing up as your truest self, your true authentic self, you know what I mean? That's your niche, you know what I mean? And that's something I had to remind myself, because I started trying to like really doing research about how to do YouTube, whatever. The techniques and the like the tips and the tricks or whatever, they work, but at the same time it's like, what does it mean when you finally build up a certain community and you built it up off of what someone else has taught you how to do, you know what I mean? Like I said, like these tips and these tricks, like, you know, you, in a way, like you take what you need in order to just make your content better, like as far as like quality and whatnot, but like just doing YouTube to like build, I think it's all about the intention, like doing YouTube just to build like followers or subscribers or whatever, like it's gonna be harder to stay consistent to YouTube, you know what I mean? Or stay consistent to anything, with anything, like, you know, even with my music, I realized that I was kind of like putting myself in a box, because I was only looking up certain beats that I like to listen to in the car, but at the same time it was like, I'm way more versatile than the beats that I'm like looking at. So like I just recently started to like venture out into like looking up type beats that of artists that I, even if I listen to them, I may look like I listen to them, but like I never really like tested the waters to see like if I could like rap over their beats or something, you know what I mean? So it's like I'm just challenging myself to like really find myself and get to know myself and push myself and see what I'm actually truly capable of, you know what I mean? Like even like these limits that I put on myself were like, especially musically, were not intentional. Like it's kind of like you have to kind of realize that's what you're doing, you know? Like especially with social media, it's really hard to get caught up in that, you know what I mean? Like trying to do things like everybody else because it's, oh, this is the trend, like, you know, like all of that. Like we can't help, you know, falling into that trap sometimes because it's like everywhere, you know. It's like the biggest trap of all, you know. And I feel like even before social media, like with magazines and shit, like it's the same type of concept, you know. A certain image or something is being pushed, or trend or whatever is being pushed, and it's like people just feel the need that they have to like follow it in order to be accepted by society and shit. And like I'm really done, you know. This tea is honey chamomile tea. It has agave, raw agave in there. Really good. It's not as sweet as I want it to be, but I don't really need all that, I guess. Like the honey makes it really sweet. So if I would have added some more agave, it would have been like juice almost, but no, it's really good. Yeah, so like I reached a point where I was like, I'm done trying to conform in the slightest way now, you know what I mean? And, you know, being more relaxed or whatever. Like even in my first podcast, I guess because it was my first video, trying to step out my comfort zone or whatever, but I realized that I was kind of still shying away from the qualities that make me me, you know what I mean? Because I do have strong, especially down here in Leo season, I do have strong Leo placements, very strong Leo placements. And not saying that that's what makes me you know, like, you know, we all have each zodiac sign within us or whatever, but like, you know, I have in my chart, I have placements that just ignite that type of fire in me. And like, you know, when Leo season comes, I'm in like a whole different like mood, just like everybody else, but like I can't help but feel the fire within me, you know what I mean? Like I said, I had a therapist. I don't know if I said this in this video. I've done takes like this, so if you hear me say it, like I said, I've said it before. It's just probably not in the take that you're watching. So like I have a therapist, intuitive therapist, that I get readings from, and it's like she basically was telling me that like I was kind of shying away from what made me me, you know what I mean? Because of I was kind of shunned for being that way in the past, you know what I mean? I was very in front of, like, I was someone, like, I just knew I was gonna be a star when I was young. Like I just knew it, you know. and I was like preparing for it. Like I thought about this yesterday. Like if you know those like videos of like Beyonce when she was young and how she was like be in the living room like dancing her ass off type shit. Kind of like feel like she kind of know that you're supposed to be great. You like, you know, you're aware of your greatness from a very early age. For some people, like it's like the same thing, but then you know you go through life or whatever you do, you're around certain people or even just society in general. Like it kind of, you know, they kind of push it out of you. They kind of like, it makes you want to like dim it in a way, and like just like you either forget it or you just like you just lose the confidence in it, you know, you lose the hope in it or something. I don't know, but that's what kind of happened to me. And like I'm really, this morning, like I was really just like, I just like was done. Like I talked to my, like I said, I don't know if I said it in this video, but I spoke with Arabia, my friend and editor. She was basically talking about that. I forgot what I was supposed to be saying. Like I be losing track of what I'm supposed to be saying, and like I hate that. But you know, like I forgot. It's something about stepping out your comfort zone type shit. But we've been talking about that recently, and it's just like, anyways, I forgot what I was about to say. But anyways, I keep saying anyways, stop it. Anyways. Anyways, I'm just done not being myself fully, and it's like it feels very liberating to just finally just like drop all the unnecessary baggage that I had about, or worry or stress that I was carrying around about trying to make sure I was like perfect and make sure I was like doing all the YouTuber shit, you know what I mean, doing all the influencer shit. Like it's like, yes, you can still do that, but like you really have to make it your own, you know, and like not really get too caught up in that part, you know. Like that's just a theme that's been something I've been thinking about recently, and that's finally why I feel like I will actually post this video this time, because I'm relaxed. You know, like I'm not trying to stick to, like I have an outline or whatever. Like it got to the point where I was like trying to like do a set outline and like follow it from like verbatim type shit, and it's like, yes, having an outline or having an idea, like a structure of what you're going to talk about is nice or whatever, but it's like I'm someone who thrives off of flowing, just talking, just like blah, like letting it out, because again, like I channel, you know what I mean? That's kind of like trying to put a cap or trying to really filter out what you're channeling. Like it's like you can't do that, you know? It's very hard to do that, if you know what I mean, you know? And like it's just, you know, not fun. So going forward, like we just gonna have to edit out a lot of the ums and the ahs, and we're just gonna just go with the flow, like just make it me, you know, and that's okay. That's your niche, you know. Not being authentic is, you know, not the way to go do about things, because it will burn out fast. Yeah, with that being said, I mean, I guess this is going into what I was about to say next though, but I was talking about or thinking about Venus going retrograde in the sign of Leo right now. So like a lot of the themes are coming up around love, a lot of lessons about love and relationships, and you know, just being in your power and stuff like that. This for me, because I'm like not really in a relationship right now, whatever, it's showing up differently for me, and it's showing up in a way of like self-love, and I'm pulling back another layer of self-love, to be honest with you, you know, because like I don't know how I want to put this, but like I do have trust issues, right? And after these failed connections, whatever, I started to doubt the trust that I have within myself to pick the right people, or to, you know, like pick the right people to be socialized with, or you know what I mean, to be romantic with or whatever. And someone said, I think on Instagram, I forgot his name, I think it was Chad the Maverick, I think it was his page, but he was kind of like saying, like, if it wasn't him, I'm sorry, but it was like saying something about like you not being able to trust yourself is a sign that like you don't know yourself to a level. So it's kind of like this retrograde is really showing me that I need to like get to know myself on a deeper level, honestly, in order to be able to trust others in a sense, you know, or trust the decisions that I'm making in picking the right people, partners or something. And like I said, like for me, it's not like a bad lesson that I have to learn. It's kind of just like a reevaluation thing I have to do. Like, okay, like I have to start, you know, I got to work on this, work on that, whatever for me right now. But I'm honestly loving it. Like this is, you know, like again, with me stepping into my full authenticity, like really releasing any like fucks about how I'm going to be perceived by certain people, or who's going to say what, and like, is this right or is this wrong? Like, no, like I'm being myself. And it's like anybody that has a problem with that, it's not my fault, you know. It's like not my problem, you know. And yeah, with all this whole like trust issue shit, like I'm really learning that it's time for me to really get out there to get to know myself, you know what I mean? And so it's like kind of right now I'm not focused on relationships, like getting into like another relationship. It's not that I'm putting it on complete hold, you know what I mean? It's kind of like I'm just like, if I meet someone, I meet someone. And it's like, you know, it's not like rushing into anything. It's more just kind of like, for me, just, you know, taking my time, like really, like the next connection I want to be in, I really want to feel like they truly compliment me. You know what I mean? You know, instead of just like putting my life on hold or just sitting around waiting on someone to finally make a decision or something or whatever, or speak up. Like, I want it to be more of like a smoother type of relationship type shit. I don't know how to explain that, but you know, like someone who compliments me, you know, feel like I can just share myself with and not have to feel like I have to conform with that, within that as well, or whatever, you know. Really just kind of like exploring my options, exploring what's out there for real. But at the same time, not like really like putting expectations on things, you know, right now, because it's kind of like I just want to really take it easy, you know what I mean, until I can fully trust myself to be in like a relationship, you know what I mean. I understand like basically the mindset is not, I'm not even talking about being like a player or anything. I'm talking about like, I'm in a mindset of like, if it happens, it happens, you know what I mean. You know, someone is interested, I'm not going to be like, oh, no, I'm not gonna like get into something that fast, you know what I mean. So it's more just like just exploring what's out there, get into really romanticizing my life right now, basically. That's all I'm doing. And it's like I would want someone who's also trying to romanticize their life and like we kind of do it together. You know what I mean? That's where I want it, you know. So I don't know, but anyways, like I'm really reaching a new level of like self-love, really being content within myself. And just, I don't know, I'm just proud of myself so far, because like I've been doing the work. Like Cancer season really like brought everything to the surface for me around that, you know, about like what I needed to change. And I had to understand that like I do eventually want to like settle down, have like a family and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying, like I had to, this is like conversations I had with my spirit guides, whatever. But like I understand that that's coming, you know what I mean. Like that's what I want, that's what I'm gonna have eventually. But it's more right now, instead of just like getting too attached on the outcome, it's kind of just like feeling, you know, just really enjoying myself, enjoying life, and then like letting things, just letting everything fall into place when it's time, basically, you know. And instead of just trying to like go out and search and look for something, you know. So yeah, that's what Venus is really teaching me right now in retrograde, you know. I'm not even gonna get into that, but like I have strong Leo placements, and the Venus one is one of them, you know. I know I look like a grandma when I do this, but oh well. This tea is really good. And it's like, I know you're only supposed to steep the teas for like a few minutes, but who does that? Who follows the rules? You know what I mean? I was just about to burn my Palo Santo, but my mom is coming home. She trips a lot when I burn that, but like I said, she burns sage and shit too, so it's kind of like, I don't know. So yeah, that, I mean, I was on point. Like I went into romanticizing my life. So basically I can talk about how I am romanticizing my life, I guess, in a sense. You know what I mean? Like, you know, rituals, basically, like self-care rituals. I'm like kind of like, I've always have like, you know, routines and stuff that I do or whatever, but I'm like really trying to put more love, like some more TLC into my self-care routines, you know what I mean. And like right now I'm just kind of evaluating how and what I want to do to like make it better, you know. Like really just accepting like fun for me as well isn't, I guess this kind of goes back to the first topic about me being in my authentic self and like not really worried about people have to say whatever. But like I used to kind of be you know, a lot of people may feel like the things that I'm interested in are, at least I'm around a lot of people who may feel like the things that I'm interested in, things that I do or whatever, are or things that I just find enjoyment or joy in or whatever, they find it boring, you know what I mean? And like at first I kind of started to feel bad about it because I feel like I had to like be someone who was like the complete opposite, you know what I mean? Like I am a little bit of a homebody, but I'm trying to, I understand that like you can be someone who goes out and whatever, but like just because I'm not like a party goer doesn't mean like I'm boring, you know what I mean? Like, you know, people have fun in different ways, you know what I mean? Like I remember I was watching this one YouTuber, and I still watch her stuff because she's very like, you know, inspirational in a way, but like she was like, no one wants to go see you in a library or whatever, like, you know, for like vlogging whatever. I'm not gonna like, that's not saying that's something I was gonna do, but like I feel like that's kind of like, I mean, that's, if that's your niche, that's your niche, you know what I mean? Like that's what you like to do. That there's a lot of people out here who like to go to the library for fun, you know what I mean? Like, you know, and it's like kind of breaking that free from that mindset of feeling like I had to do or go where everyone else feels like you have to go to have fun type shit, you know, and just to enjoy yourself. And like, you know, and I feel like I've been really coming across a lot of people who, or just realizing that like, you know, that's bullshit, you know. Romanticizing my life basically is kind of just like doing those things that I once was not afraid to do but felt bad for doing. Felt like I felt bad for kind of having like some enjoyment in, because it's like other people may find it boring or whatever. And that it's even like to the point where like I wasn't considering like it stopped me from even going to try it all together, you know what I mean? Because of like I felt bad, or I felt like it wouldn't be good content or something, when it's like that's all I follow on like Instagram and like TikTok, and it's like those people are doing just fine, living their life just fine, you know what I mean? It's like support is there, like people, your people are out there, you know what I mean? So if you're interested in like, I don't know, like people who are interested in cars, like you can look up, you can make a YouTube channel about cars or whatever, that someone else, like I have no interest in cars, or to that extent, you know what I mean? And it's like, that doesn't mean you're boring, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean like you won't get views, you know what I mean? Like just like people who like to review video games, you know what I mean? That doesn't mean you're like, you know, like, you know, why are you doing that? There's people out here just living comfortably off of just reviewing video games, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, like that's just something I'm just like, it's bullshit to think like that, you know what I mean? Like loving yourself is like loving every part of yourself with that shit. Like just, I'm really breaking free of this episode is basically about breaking free from like the mindset of just like being afraid to like what you like, you know what I mean? Being afraid of like really truly being open about your hobbies or your talents and stuff like that, because people may find it weird or something, like unless it's like you being like kind of nasty. But for the most part, like if you get it, I'm not talking about like that. I'm talking about like, you know, just like, you know, like don't let anyone make you feel bad for being boring if you are boring, you know what I mean? Like that's what's fun to you, that's what your soul likes to do, you know what I mean? Like maybe past lifetime I was a party goer, like I'm not really like into parties like that. I don't really like crowds like that. So if I go to a concert or something, like I have to have a specific type of seat, or I have to make sure it's like a specific type of venue or something where I don't have to be in like the mosh pit or something, or where everyone is like all bunched up together. Like that isn't fun to me, you know what I mean? Because like again, like I don't like people on me like that. I'm an empath. You know what I mean? I need to sit back, you know? I can get as close as I can, but from a comfortable seat, you know what I mean? So it's just all about preference, man. Yeah, so like I don't know, it's just like a quick video. I guess I'll just upload this as like a vlog or something. I mean, I don't know what it'll be. It'll be what it is when it's up. Like, so if it's a podcast, it's a podcast. If it's a regular vlog, it's a regular vlog. Like, I'm over it, you know? And I feel like this is like easier for me to like make more content, because like now I can just like talk and be, and then like Venus, the whole thing about Venus being in retrograde or whatever, that's like part of the whole like one of the themes as well. As far as like, I think also the guy said something about the full moon in Aquarius is about like really aligning with your soul tribe, and it's like that's all I really give a fuck about right now. Like I want to be around people who like understand me, you know what I mean? And like I don't feel like I have to kind of shrink in a way. Like I'm not someone who like, you know, like I don't mind like dipping my toe into a club every now and then, but like at the same time it's like I like a friends night in type thing where we make like little cute little sophisticated like little cutaway boards, I think that's how you pronounce it, and you know, movie nights and shit like that, and then like going out to like different types of restaurants, just like relaxed stuff, you know. I don't know, maybe if I am bored, I'm bored, so I don't care. But yeah, just this video is basically just about just being yourself. Be yourself. If they don't like you for being yourself, welcome. Word to Bernie Mac, for real. But yeah, so anyways, thank you for tuning in, watching me. I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'm still working on an outro, but I feel like Arabia kind of got me on that now. But yeah, this tea is good. Go try this tea. Recommend some teas as well that are really good. Some things are just sweet. You know, I don't really like too much bitter tea. Unless I'm talking about like healthy things. Eventually I will. But right now, like some tea that, you know, just, it's kind of like everyday tea. You know, just to put like drink some tea is like, you know, simple shit. I don't know. Anyways, thank you so much for watching my channel or watching this video. Thank you so much for clicking on my channel. I love you guys, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.
Get so much love in the streets. Penthouse stamp Perry for the week. No, when I need peace, we must be destined to be. Please don't